would just like to share my heart with you about what it means to be great, not just in football, but in life. For me, it comes down to having a foundation. It's taken a while for me to get to my foundation. And I think in life, when I was growing up in Houston, Texas, being the last of 10 kids, being the smallest of 10 kids, I really didn't have a foundation. It took a while before I really could kind of stand on my feet. It took a while before I really knew who I was, where I was going, and which direction in life that I would choose. So when I look at the foundation, my question to you as I begin to talk about this, what is your foundation? What are you standing on? When life really gets difficult and you don't have the answers, where do you go? So I think for me, the foundation is built upon 4 pillars. And as I talk about these 4 things, the first one is the most important. It's my faith. Through everything in my life, everything that I've been through, everything that I've had a chance to experience, good and bad, is my faith is the one thing that I could always count on. Even when I really didn't know what it meant. And one of the first verses that I learned as a kid was, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That was the first verse that my mother taught me. And it's something that I took to heart. She taught me that verse at 7 years old. And I really believe that what she said about the Bible, when you talked about the Bible in my house, I believed it was true. And I think that's one of the biggest things today in life is we don't really get it when we talk about the Bible, when we read the Bible. What if we really believe the words in the Bible? What if we really believe they were true? What if we could really receive the word as if we were kids, as if we were little children? Because that's the way I received that verse that day. And I put that word in my heart and I begin to feed on that. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The next one is the mental aspect in life. All of the young people in this room, all of the young men and young women in this room, and it's not just for you, but have you taken time to sit back and look at not just being an athlete, not just being on the physical side of it, which I'll talk about in a bit, but what am I mentally? Am I growing? Am I challenging myself mentally? What did I learn different today? There's so many things to discover. There's so many things to be curious about. What did I learn today differently than I did not know yesterday? The next one is the physical pillar. Am I taking care of myself? Now, the more I study what's happening in America, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary what's happening with the food in America. It's kind of scary even when you eat a good meal, even when you eat a healthy meal. 25 years ago, that meal was better than it is today. As a matter of fact, today when you eat a meal, you got to eat that meal about 20 times before it's the same value nutritionally as it was 25, 50 years ago. That's what's happening with our food. Am I taking care of myself physically? Am I just working hard? Am I just trying to make it? Am I just trying to make ends meet? Am I just trying to keep everything together? But I am not staying together. And then the last part is socially. Who am I surrounded by? Young people, it is so important as to the people that you surround yourself with. I was reading an article not long ago where this young lady in high school had befriended this young man. And this young man was troubled mentally. He was having depression issues. And the young lady told him, you know what, it's not going to get any better. Just kill yourself. Nobody cares. It's not going to get any better. Do it. She kept telling him, do it. And after long, he took his life. Who's talking to you? Who are you listening to? Are they helping you get better? Are they taking you away from some of the very things that your parents have been trying to get you to do? Are they enlightening you? Or are they telling you, you can't do this? You can't do that? Do they make you better? One story about that is one year, I think it was my second year in the league, the Chicago Bears was not a very good football team. We had just lost the last game of the season to the worst team in the league, Tampa Bay. We got on the bus, and one of my goals for that year was to be All-Pro. And I'd done everything that I could. I'd worked hard, I'd set this goal, and I said, you know what, I gotta make it, I gotta make it. We needed to have a good game against Tampa Bay, and we did not. I got on the bus, and one of my teammates, Steve McMichael, sat down next to me, and he put his arm on my shoulder. And he said, Mike, you know, All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year, all those kind of things, they're not meant for guys like you and me. They're meant for guys like Walter Payton, guys that like Dan Hampton, guys that got drafted first round, guys that are tall and fast and bigger than us. And I looked at him, and I took his arm off of my neck. And I stood up as I got out of the seat next to him, and I said, look, as long as you live, don't ever come and sit next to me and put your arms around my shoulder and tell me what I cannot do. You may not be able to do it, but I am going to be All-Pro. I am going to be All-Pro. And I changed my seat. And I told him, don't ever sit next to me again if that's the attitude that you're going to have. And he looked at me and said, what did I do? I'm just telling you the truth. I said, no, that's your truth, not mine. That year I made All-Pro. And the next year he did too. But I want to tell you something. You have to make up your mind. You have to make up your mind in life about who you are and who God says you are. You have to open up the Word of God